You're a slave to every single distraction in this world, and how can you expect to quantumly? You can't, because you're literally a slave. Spoken like a real alpha male. You're broke! You're fucking broke! Hello everyone, welcome back to my main channel. Today I'm going to show you how to not be chopped and unk anymore. Today I'm going to show you how to become an alpha male. If you're new to my channel, my name is Simone. I talk about psychology, spirituality, self-development, and I combine it all into one to help you become the person you want to be and overcome pretty much everything. Slay Society shirts currently on sale, 20% off and flat rate $10 shipping no matter where you live in the world and no matter how many items you get. So
go crazy, go stupid, oh, go crazy, yeah, go stupid,
So today we're talking about how to quantumly into the dream version of yourself before the end of the year. Today we're entirely talking about how you can collapse time and manifest it to you right now, because every version of yourself already exists. You just need to decide to become that person right now. That's easy. And when you decide, you collapse time. When you trust, you collapse time. It happens right now. Every single video we do a giveaway of my journal, the Life Formula. It is the all-in-one journal to change your life, become more productive. So if you guys are interested, you can go to the Mind Formula website and purchase it. And if you want to go into the draw to win, simply leave a comment below. And here are the winners. Okay everyone, so number one, we need to define who is this dream girl, who is this dream version of yourself. You need to think about every single aspect. So don't just think of the material or the physical. Think about how she feels every single day. How does she feel about her friends, her life? When she wakes up, is she excited? What is she excited by? Is she excited because maybe she has a new book to read? She's learning a new hobby? She's learning a new skill? She has a new partner in her life? What makes her her? What fulfills her? If you only think about the superficial elements, such as like her wardrobe, that's not real change. That's just keeping it superficial. You need to change internally. So think about every single little aspect of who she is. You can even give her a name. I'm going to show you later on how to like collapse into that person. But by giving this person another identity and really defining every single aspect of who they are, when you're straying from being and embodying who she is, you can collapse in a split second and become her again. If she is very ill-defined, you don't even know who she is. So you can't even distinguish when you are not being her. And ultimately, if we have this alternate identity, this alter ego almost, you can merge them together. And then eventually you just have one identity. So number one, define who she is, every single aspect of herself. Number two, have an audit of yourself. How far away are you from becoming this person? What are the differences between you and Veronica? And why are you different? Veronica, she wakes up at 6 a.m. Simone, she wakes up at 8 a.m. Hypotheticals. Veronica is very outgoing and she says yes a lot. Simone, she says no a lot. She likes to stay home and bed rot. She is not very open. So think about some like very obvious differences between the two. And then you need to think about, why can you not step into this version of who you want to be? Going back to the example, Simone in this example, she likes to stay home and she doesn't like to go out because maybe she feels like she's shy. She doesn't have the energy to go out. Why does she not have the energy to go out? Because she spends too much time on things that do not matter to her, that drain her energy. Maybe she has poor energy hygiene practices as well. Why does Veronica have so much energy? Because she has good energy hygiene. She only spends time on the things that matter to her. Therefore, she can say yes to new experiences and meeting new people because she feels alive, she feels happy, she can go out. You need to get to the root of these things. What is stopping you from becoming this person? Number three, you really need to know that becoming your dream person, it is only going to take as much time as you think it's going to take. If we obviously think about the money aspects or the career, there is a ladder there. That will take time, but actually embodying and becoming this person, that takes no time at all. You can do it instantly. And by collapsing time, by deciding now, by embodying her now, you've become that person. Like, actually think about it. The only thing stopping you between being Simone and being Veronica is your mind. Your mind is the only barrier. Your mind thinks, okay, it's gonna take a lot of time for me to become this person. I have to overcome XYZ obstacle. No, you just decide now. I'm gonna stop doing that behavior. I'm going to embody her. A little trick as well is either you can snap your fingers as a pattern interrupt. So if you continue to think the same thoughts, right? You're not thinking from the new person's POV. So a pattern interrupt can be snapping your fingers. You can have a band on your wrist, which you can flick. By doing that, it's going to serve as a reminder that you need to snap back into being that person. And it will also help you to break your old pattern of thoughts. 5, you need to pick a practice and stick to it. If you're overwhelming yourself with too many changes, too many decisions, too many things that need to be done, you're going to burn out. Pick 3 things that you can do every single day, which will make the biggest difference. So for me, this is my morning stack. My morning stack is I do 10 minutes of breath work, find a breath work video on YouTube. I then go into a 10-minute meditation and I do 10 minutes of EFT tapping. The power of these 3 allows me to get so much control over my brain that I can be whoever I want that day. If you don't have control over your brain, you wake up and the first thing you do is you pick up your phone, you scroll, you've already lost the day, you've lost control of your brain. So if you want to get the biggest ROI by doing the least amount of actions, I would suggest that you meditate. Because if you don't have control over your brain, you're a slave to every single distraction in this world, and how can you expect to change? More than that, how can you expect to quantum leap? You can't, because you're literally a slave.
You're broke! You're fucking broke!
One thing I'd also recommend, if this is a big struggle for you, like you have a lot of fears come up and you're like, well, I can't really work through this myself, is you get therapy. Guys, I've told you, therapy is not something that you do forever. It is something you do when you need it. It can be an investment just for 1 to 3 months. I do therapy every year, only for like 1 to 3 months. That's it. When I need therapy, I do it. So thank you to today's paid partner, BetterHelp, for sponsoring this video. BetterHelp is on a mission to making therapy more accessible and more affordable. They actually offer financial aid. So if you can't afford therapy, you can apply for financial aid with them. And besides that, I think BetterHelp is very affordable, especially compared to traditional therapy. It's super easy to use. All you need to do is fill out a questionnaire, and usually within a couple of days, BetterHelp will have paired you with a therapist who is right for you. Because therapy is a little bit like dating, which means the first person is not going to be right for you. I mean, there's a very slim chance they're going to be right for you. You're going to have to do a little bit of trial and error, and BetterHelp lets you change free of charge if you don't like your therapist. If you go in person, you need to get a new referral, you need to pay again, you need to drive to see them. It is so time consuming and costly. And I know sometimes when you're in a critical state, you don't have time for this. You might not even want to leave your house. So that's why BetterHelp's great, because you can do this from the comfort of your own home, and changing is literally free. So with over 7,000 reviews and a 4.3 star rating on Trustpilot, BetterHelp is a platform that you can trust. So why don't you go to my link, betterhelp.com/smoothsquare, to get 10% off your first month of BetterHelp. Guys, really give therapy a go. Even in my videos not sponsored by them, I talk about therapy. That's how much I believe in it. I would also pick an action that forces you to be this person. For example, I do language lessons every single day. Mandarin. 你好，我的名字是佳佳. And because I'm paying for these lessons, I show up every day. By the way, I use the website Preply. You can find a tutor on there, non-spons. Maybe you pay for a gym membership, you book that Pilates class. If you cancel it, you have to pay $40. So you're forced to show up every single day. Next, you need to rewire your self-concept. One thing I recommend, yes, you meditate, okay? Because when you meditate, you gain control of your brain, like I said, and therefore when you think bad thoughts, you can actually start to prune it and cut them off. You can also hack this even further by, when you're in this meditative state after your breath work, repeat the affirmations to yourself over and over again. When you wake up in the morning, repeat your affirmations over and over again. This is when your mind is so susceptible to programming, which is why you shouldn't be on your phone first thing in the morning. And do the exact same thing when you go to bed. When you go to bed, you can also listen to subliminals or rampages or affirmations. It's going to seep into your subconscious when you're sleeping. I would also find someone that can hold you accountable. With what's coming in December, don't worry. We're gonna have a lot of that. You're gonna meet a lot of friends. You're going to find like-minded people who will help you with this. Can't say what's coming yet. Find a friend to do this challenge with. Go on Reddit, find a manifesting buddy over there. or even just have like a private Twitter account where you can tweet and find a community. One thing we also need to do is you need to work to make your nervous system feel safe. As I've said in many of our videos, if your nervous system doesn't feel safe with being that new person, you're going to sabotage. Even if you really want to be this person, you're going to sabotage. Sometimes people fail to make more money because their internal system is sabotaging, because deep down they believe if I make more money, I'm not going to have time for my children, I won't have time for myself, I actually like my life. Maybe that's something you don't realize. It can go on and on and on. My grandparents told me that money was evil growing up, blah blah blah. My great-grandfather, he got shot because he was rich. I don't know, it can be ancestral trauma. That's just an example, but it's something that you're going to have to work through. So one way to figure out if you can even hold space for becoming this new person is to do a lot of visualizations every day. Now, the more you can make it feel real to you, the more you'll better be able to collapse time and embody that person. But the more you'll be able to think from that POV, and then all the fears will come up and you can work through that. Say you want to be a very famous TikToker. So you imagine every day you posting videos, you imagine people commenting. What are they commenting? Maybe you were like, wait, I'm starting to get some hate comments because I'm so famous right now. And you feel, oh, I'm really scared. I don't want to post anymore because I feel threatened for my safety because of these hate comments. And then you realize, okay, that's one block from achieving this is I actually feel like I'm going to be threatened. You can work through that fear. But the more you visualize, the more these fears are going to come up. If you're able to conquer this before this actually happens, you're not going to self-sabotage because you expect it to come already and you've already worked through it. And the more you do it, the more you're able to hold this version of yourself. You're making your nervous system feel comfortable. Lastly, guys, I want to talk about decision making. You need to start to make decisions from the POV of the person you want to be. So we talked about how we can quickly anchor into that person, just have one signal. Okay, I'm going to snap my fingers. What would she do? Now you are her. By the way, the more you do this, the more you'll be able to become her. What my therapist actually has me do, I have a mask. The mask naturally comes up. The mask is protecting myself, and it comes up in social situations too. So she has me do this exercise where I'll move to the left side when I'm being the masked version of me, and then I'm moving to the right side when I'm just Simone. And this is something you can do. Think about your alter ego to the right side, physically. Think about everything she is. Think about her behaviors, what she does, and feel all the sensation in your body. And then you can do the same for the current version of you. So in my situation of where we were doing the masked version of me versus the normal version, when I'm masked, I get all tense and I get stressed and I get neck pain and I get headache. And that's how visceral it can be. That is how important it is to really visualize this person. Because if you're able to do it enough, you will be able to switch between them so easily, almost like another personality. You do it enough, you don't need to switch anymore because you are already her. So let's think about how to make decisions from that point of view. It's really not that hard. You stop overthinking. Stop overthinking. This is what you do. Kelsey, this is your alter ego. Kelsey is a boss babe alpha male. She doesn't spend her time scrolling on TikTok. She has decentered men. She is working on her career. She believes in herself and she's confident. Ali, this is who you really are. Ali is the complete opposite. Ali, she is so obsessed over men. She chases them because she feels so insecure. She wants validation from them. She is not a boss babe. She really wants to be. And often she feels really stuck. How can you make decisions from the point of Kelsey instead of Ali? You make decisions faster. That's what. You stop overthinking. So you're dating a guy, he's not replying. Ali, she wants to text him, what did I do wrong? Please reply to me. Kelsey, she's not going to do that. What would Kelsey do? Kelsey would not do that because she's too busy focusing on her career. Kelsey would not do that because she doesn't care about this random man who's not her husband. Kelsey's mindset's completely different. Ali would typically go and message him and chase. Stop doing that. If you broke that pattern, you stop that action, you've actually just become Kelsey. Do you guys see what I mean? I feel like I'm not articulating this well at the moment. It's all in like the micro actions as well. You might really want to message this person because that's what you would do, but you know you shouldn't, so you don't do it, and you have already started to break a pattern. Stop. And overthinking is like the root of evil. Well, not of evil, but a lot of our progress is stunted because we're not making fast enough decisions. You just need to decide now, decide fast, and make progress. As long as you're in movement, you're going to make it, you're going to succeed. We can only fail when we are stuck, when we're stagnant, when we're going backwards and we're not improving. And lastly, you need to stop letting yourself down, which means you guys watch so many of my videos, you probably bought the life formula, and yet maybe you haven't made a lot of change. And it's because you let yourself down. And I've been there. You make a whole plan for yourself at like 3 a.m. in the morning, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and everything's gonna be different. And you have momentum and motivation for like 3 days, and then you're back to being the old you. The way to get over this is make faster decisions, take pressure off of yourself, and to really embody the state now. I know visualization can seem woo-woo to a lot of people, but it's not. It's not. Just like how I told you, when I move into this side, I get the pain. When I move into this side, it's gone. Studies have also shown that if you're envisioning working out or running, the muscles you use when you physically run are going to grow, because your brain doesn't know the difference between visualization and what's real, what's not. So by visualizing, by embodying, you're collapsing time, you're becoming that person right now. You just need to decide. You need to stop letting yourself down and actually take action. And guys, what is coming in December? You're gonna know in November, but it's gonna change your life, okay? It's gonna help you become who you wanna be. I'm so excited. I can't reveal too much yet. Don't forget to leave a comment, leave a like, check out the second channel, and I will see you next time. Follow the Mind Formula on Instagram because I'm posting so much there now. Okay, ich liebe dich. Tschüss. And Slay Society is on sale for the next 2 weeks, so go get your alpha male shirt.